Welcome everyone to this interview with Ostura. I have Danny from the band here. Hi Danny.
Hey Patrick, how are you?
I'm good. So you released your second album, The Room, on February 23rd. How's the fan and media reception so far?
Hey, well, first of all, thanks for hosting this interview. It's been the reception has been exceptionally good, much better than we anticipated, actually. Um, People, the reviews that a lot of magazines wrote were just like really astonishing,
I see,
honestly.
yeah.
It was just a very well received in different ways. So different people like different things about it. We were waiting to see which song would be people's favorite, and honestly, we couldn't because everyone had their own favorite track and their own favorite things that they liked about the album. So yeah, I can safely say that reception has been very satisfying.
I mean, very different from your first album, which was quite local and somehow had a reception worldwide, maybe in some countries, but you weren't backed up by Universal or something like this.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors came into play that brought this album a lot more success than the first one. Other than the production quality, it was also we had some featured artists on this one, which got us some attention. And of course, we were signed by a label, the Universal Music, so that was a big help as well.
I mean, we know you're also collaborating with the Prague Orchestra, but you have a big list of guest appearances also.
So yeah, we got some big names. Arion is on it. Arjen Kesten from the band Arion,
Yeah.
which was our biggest, we're his biggest fans basically, and doesn't usually play sessions for other bands, but he really liked the project and he was definitely on board. We got Thomas Lang on drums, we got Marcos Fogli on guitars, we got Dan Veal on bass. There's a Turkish guitar solo player, which I don't know how we found this guy, but apparently he's one of the best guitar players in Turkey. His name is Ostura Abak,
All right.
and it was just a whole list of talented artists.
So far, this sounds like it's prog metal. So, how would you describe the album in terms of musical influences that went into it, and the process, and how you actually managed to get this big sound with the orchestra?
So basically, our musical influences. So me and Elia basically co-wrote everything, music, lyrics, production, storyline, and we have different backgrounds of music and kind of met in the middle. So my background is more film scoring, soundtracks. That's what I studied in Hollywood, and my inspiration has since I was a kid has been a lot of those movie soundtracks. And from Elia's side, he's a little bit more on the progressive side, industrial rock. So, and then we both love metal, so we kind of did this hybrid in between, and that was one of the big reasons for. That's basically the album sounds like Hans Zimmer and Porcupine Tree, like in one.
Yeah, so you actually mentioned something cinematic metal. So you aimed at this kind of concept.
Yeah, the terms of cinematic progressive is what we're calling it, cinematic prog, and it comes not only from the actual sounds and instruments and arrangement, but also the methodology that we're writing. So basically, we start off with the storyline, and then we have we write the scene, like what's happening in this track, and then based on the story, we write the music to fit that scene. So it's as if you're writing music for film.
All right, I see.
The story inspires the music.
So if you had to recommend a couple of songs for listeners, so what kind of songs? What are your favorite songs?
If Elia was here, he would have two different songs than my favorites. But I would say track 9 is one of my favorites, the one that Arion played on, and track 10, The Surge.
All right.
Yeah, personal favorites. But I mean, it depends on my mood. Honestly, sometimes my favorite one would be track 4. It depends.
Now we're gonna preview a song from the album. It's kind of my favorite, so it's not yours, but it has also an official video on YouTube that everyone can check from the links in the description. It's called Deathless. Everyone's wondering if you're gonna have a tour to support this album, because in your first album you only played once in Lebanon, which was quite challenging because of the venue, etc. Right?
The venue and the local metal scene is not as big. So if we do plan on going on tour, if there is enough of a fan base. So far it looks like the US has the biggest, we have the biggest number of fans there in the US, so we're leaning towards that there if things continue growing the way they're growing. And the fans have been messaging us a lot, demanding for a concert and at least for physical CDs.
So
We'll
there's
be announcing soon.
okay. So there's nothing scheduled yet. So only rumors.
Only rumors, yes, and nothing scheduled for 2018 so far.
All right. So do you have anything else to say to your fans worldwide or to your local fans in Lebanon? And maybe also to encourage them to check the album out. It's a really good album. I listened to it already. We're gonna post a review about it soon on LebMetal. And well, what would you say to people? Like, why should they listen to The Room?
I mean, you said local fans?
Local and worldwide. Maybe they have you have a different approach to both.
Honestly, I think for most of the local bands, I think if they listen to it and see what can be done from a studio from Lebanon, they might be encouraged, because I mean, most of the reason why we did this is because we're sick of the situation in Lebanon. We want to prove to the world that we can do a quality album, something great, get signed by a good label. Not just the fact that we're in a third world country shouldn't stop us from creating something, a great work of art. And honestly, I think the most thing I would say is for other musicians and artists to be encouraged to follow the same path.
All right. Thank you for being here and thank you for talking to us. It was nice having you.
You too, man. Take care.